by welcoming our viewers who are joining us on television across Region 5. Welcome to another program of Issues in the News. And again, in Region 6, those of you who are joining us on television along the east bank of the Berbice River, New Amsterdam, Kanji, and all the way along the Quarantine Coast down to Molson Creek. Welcome to another program of Issues in the News. And the tens of thousands of you who are joining us on Facebook Live, and we are now on YouTube as well. Welcome to another program of Issues in the News. You are joining us across the Caribbean, whether you're joining us from North America, from Europe, Asia, and even further afield on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Welcome once again to another program of Issues in the News. And I see Mohammed Yassin from Canada, Sabrina Svetnam, Rabindra Prashad, Neetu Maraj, Horace Sarkar, Inshan Warsali, Neville Swami, and all of you who are joining me on Facebook Live. Welcome to another program of Issues in the News, and please remember to press that share button. Press that share button on your phone, or share this program on your computer, on your tablets, on your iPad, so that many of your friends and followers can join us in this evening's discussion. Press that share button so that the program can be viewed by as many persons as possible. Bring in your friends, bring in your relatives, bring in your followers in our tonight's discussion so that we can have the widest possible audience. And also, please let me have your comments, let me have your input, let me have your questions so that I can answer them if time permits. I want this program to be as interactive as possible. I don't want it to be a monologue. I want it to be a dialogue, an exchange of ideas, an exchange of views between your good self and I on this program. So let me have your views, let me have your questions, let me have your inputs so that we can have a dialogue and not a monologue. I want to begin tonight by recognizing that preparations are ongoing for local government elections in Guyana, which are fixed to take place on June 12th, 2023. The PPP and its party machinery and our candidates and our activists are across the length and breadth of our country doing political work and preparing for the 2023 June 12th local government elections. We are the only party in Guyana that is contesting every single seat in every single local authority organ across the length and breadth of our country. And that is why we say without the fear of contradiction that we are the only national party in this country. The APNU is contesting some 65% of the seats only. We are contesting 100% of the seats across the local authority areas of our country. And again, I repeat, that is why we are the only national party representing all the people of our country. The APNU has finally made it clear that they do not want local government elections. I have been saying from the inception over a year and a half ago that they do not want to contest these elections, that they have seen the writings on the wall, that they would be resoundingly beaten at these elections, and they have consistently and persistently over the past year or more have been throwing in the path of these elections all manner of hurdles and objections, hoping that they can succeed in delaying the elections. They have failed abysmally in their efforts to thwart these elections from taking place. They have tried persistently at the level of GCOM through their commissioners to raise all manner of objections against the list, against the employees of GCOM, against boundaries demarcated for these elections, and all those efforts yielded no fruit. Now, they have issued a formal statement in which they are calling for an investigation into acts of electoral fraud by the PPP, and they are asking for the local government elections not to proceed. For Change has long since signaled their intention not to contest the elections. They recognize very early and very quickly, and rightfully so, that, to use Ramjatan's word, they would be dead meat if they were to contest these elections. The AFC exists in form only, and I believe its only membership consists of those persons who are sitting in the National Assembly. Outside of those persons, I don't think that there is an AFC. The PNC is faltering badly. There is great internal strife. Roysdale Ford and Amanza Walton Desir are aggressively battling for the leadership of the party from Aubrey Norton. That is a public secret. And they have lost thousands of their supporters, many of whom have crossed the floor and are now with the PPP, and some of them are candidates for the PPP at these elections. They also obviously have no finances to run an elections. So the next best thing, rather than accept that they are in a moribund state, they now fabricate and manufacture allegations of electoral fraud against the People's Progressive Party. This is a party that you know and the world knows has a history of institutionalizing electoral fraud in this country. They rigged the 1968 elections, they rigged the 1973 elections, they rigged the 1980 elections, they rigged the 1985 elections. Many people believe they have rigged the 2015 elections, and fresh in your memory are their numerous and consistent and persistent efforts to rig the 2020 elections, their attempts to rig the elections, and the role that GCOM officers played in that conspiratorial manifestation was just recently confirmed by a commission of inquiry presided over by internationally respected jurists who have come to the clear and settled conclusion that various and varying methods were employed in an attempt to pervert the results of this. You witnessed it yourself. You did not need a commission of inquiry to confirm that. But it's important that we record these horrendous occurrences in permanent form so that future generations can read them and be educated and be informed of who have a proclivity and a history of electoral frauds and rigging of elections. And these are the very people with a straight face are accusing the PPP of electoral frauds. The elections have not yet been held, but yet they are accusing the PPP of electoral frauds. And they are refusing the legal methods that are in place to prosecute their complaints of these alleged frauds. The Local Election Authorities Act provides specific mechanisms for the complaints they are making to be made to the lawful tribunal and authority. And it provides a process for how those complaints are to be prosecuted and investigated. But they're not employing those legal methods. They prefer to speak to the press and propagandistic postures rather than try if these allegations as they are saying are so rampant, why not employ the available legal mechanism? They're not doing that. But to themselves and by themselves and to their dwindling support base, they are uttering this mantra that the PPP is attempting to rig elections. You know, the international community knows and the world knows of the fight, and we didn't struggle, and we didn't go to the courts, and we didn't have the international support, withstood the efforts and fought the efforts that were being made to rig those elections. And today we are in government. So let us see how this will unfold. But I am looking keenly at the international community for their response.